Lakefront properties around Lake Minnetonka command an average price just under $5 million right now, and that's 11 times higher than the Twin Cities' average home. For generations, Lake Minnetonka has been Minnesota's premier address, home to historic fortunes, professional athletes, and modern tech execs alike. Today, I'm going to take you inside this 14,500-acre playground to reveal exactly why it remains Twin Cities' most sought-after area. Lake Minnetonka isn't just a lake. It's actually 42 interconnected bays and inlets, creating one of the most unique waterfront communities in America. When people think of lakes, they often picture simple circular or oval shapes, but Lake Minnetonka is completely different. It has an impressive 125 miles of shoreline, and that's nearly 3 times the shoreline of the island of Manhattan. This lake has 23 named bays, 18 islands, and reaches a maximum depth of 113 feet. The lake's unusual shape means that there are hundreds of unique shoreline perspectives. A home on Wayzata Bay, for example, offers a completely different views and waterfront experience than on Crystal Bay or Cooks Bay, creating an exceptionally diverse waterfront living options. What's even more interesting is how this affects property values. Some bays are significantly more desirable than others, not just because of the views, but because of the water depth for boating, for sun exposure, for those west-facing sunset views, and of course proximity to amenities. Here's a wild fact for you. If you laid Lake Minnetonka's shorelines in a straight line, it would actually stretch all the way from the Twin Cities all the way up to Duluth. That's just how massive this lake system really is. While feeling worlds away from urban life, Lake Minnetonka is actually just about 15 miles from downtown Minneapolis. So that's only going to be about a 30-minute drive to the heart of the Twin Cities. This is something the locals absolutely love. Even those that visit but don't necessarily live on Lake Minnetonka, they're amazed that such a peaceful, natural setting can be so close to a metropolitan area. So Lake Minnetonka really offers the perfect balance between natural serenity and metropolitan convenience. I've worked with families relocating from both coasts, and they're often shocked by just how accessible everything is. You can be sitting on your dock watching the sunset, and then 25 minutes later, you could be sitting at the Guthrie Theater or maybe Target Field. And that kind of lifestyle with both natural beauty and urban amenities is incredible. Lake Minnetonka's position as the Twin Cities' premier address isn't new. It's backed by a fascinating 140-year historical legacy that continues to influence the area even today. In the 1880s, railroad magnate James J. Hill built the Lafayette Hotel, which is on Lake Minnetonka. And this was billed as the finest hotel west of New York City and setting the standard for luxury that continues today. Lake Minnetonka's status as an elite destination dates all the way back to the 1870s even, when it became a nationally recognized resort destination. The area's golden age as a resort may have started when European settlers arrived in the 1850s even, but it was the arrival of the railroads and steamboats that really transformed this region. The Hotel Lafayette opened July 2nd in 1882, featuring 3 grand staircases, 300 guest rooms, and employed a staff of 150 people. And this wasn't just some local hotel, it was a national destination that hosted distinguished guests, including Presidents Chester A. Arthur and Ulysses S. Grant. The Grand Hotel Lafayette and other historic resorts established Lake Minnetonka as Minnesota's premier social destination, attracting wealthy visitors from all across the country. While most of these magnificent structures were lost in a fire, including the Hotel Lafayette, which burned down in an electric fire in 1897, their legacy does live on in the architectural grandeur that is Lake Minnetonka homes today. Today, the Lafayette Club stands on that historic site, continuing the legacy of elegance and exclusivity that defined this corner of Lake Minnetonka for generations. Did you know the name Minnetonka is actually a word originally from the Dakota tribe, meaning big water? And Spirit Knob, which is a peninsula near Wayzata, remains the site of spiritual significance. This cultural history adds just another layer of richness to that area. While the historic legacy established Lake Minnetonka's reputation, it is the unrivaled recreation opportunities that continue to make it a paradise for residents today. Lake Minnetonka isn't just for looking at. It's Minnesota's ultimate year-round playground with activities that transform with each of the seasons. This is something that truly separates Lake Minnetonka from other luxury areas, even from other lake communities in the Twin Cities. The lake offers exceptional recreational diversity through all 4 seasons, so it's never boring no matter what time of year. In the summer, the lake comes alive with boating, fishing, and water sports. It's home to prized catches like walleye, northern pike, and bass, making it a fantastic fishing destination. The expansive lake creates an outdoor playground for boating enthusiasts with numerous marinas, yacht clubs, and public launches, providing easy access to the water, whether you're looking for a pontoon, jet ski, or sport boat. Homeowners here would describe this experience as owning a vacation property that you get to live in year-round. That's because it feels like a resort that changes with the seasons. Fall, of course, brings spectacular foliage views over the water, while winter transformed the lakes into an entirely different recreational space with ice fishing and snowmobiling, and the lake typically reaches an average of 20 to 24 inches in the winter. For those who appreciate natural beauty and horticultural displays, we've got the nearby Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, which provides 1,200 acres of gardens, trails, and plant collections. This botanical treasure has been recognized as North America's best botanical garden by USA Today readers in both 2017 and 2019. Next up, why don't we take you inside some of the distinct communities surrounding Lake Minnetonka and reveal which ones are going to offer you the best value and which ones are going to have the highest premium. Lake Minnetonka encompasses 13 incorporated municipalities, from the upscale urban charm of Wayzata to the small town feel of Excelsior, and this creates diverse lifestyle options all centered around the lake. And this is one of my favorite things about the Lake Minnetonka area. Each community has its own unique character and lifestyle, but they're all going to share access to the incredible natural resources. Wayzata is often referred to as the gateway to Lake Minnetonka, featuring upscale ambiance with its vibrant downtown area filled with high-end boutiques, very fine dining restaurants, and beautiful lakeside parks. You've got sophisticated shopping, fine dining, and restaurants like Gianni's Steakhouse and the historic Wayzata Depot. This community has the perfect blend of luxury and charm. To the south side, you've got Excelsior, Minnesota, which provides a completely different experience with its charming main streets lined with unique shops and family-owned restaurants. It's got more of a classic laid-back small-town Minnesota feel, but it's still very upscale. Other notable communities are going to include Deep Haven and Shorewood, both known for tree-lined streets. They've got a very serene atmosphere and family-friendly community activities all year round. And Minnetonka Beach, which is a community of its own that's practically a little island of exclusive homes and private estates, and that is home to the Lafayette Club. Regardless of which community you may live in, there are countless annual community events in this area, like Wayzata's James J. Hill Days and Excelsior's Apple Days, and these bring communities together, attracting thousands of visitors from all around the Twin Cities. These kinds of community celebrations really show how strong the social bonds are that makes these areas so special, and you are not going to want to miss the 4th of July display over the lake. Next, why don't I show you exactly what $5 million is going to get you and why some savvy buyers are looking for specific communities that are going to have a better value. Lake Minnetonka's real estate market truly is in a class all of its own. There are currently about 50 lakefront properties all around the Lake Minnetonka area, and again, those are averaging about $5 million right now. That's about from $850,000 for essentially a teardown, which you could build on top of, all the way up to almost $17 million. Surprisingly, however, the average number of bedrooms for this area is just 3.8 and 4.1 bathrooms and just about 3,700 square feet. So considering the price tag, you'd probably assume you're getting a lot bigger, but that is not necessarily the case. It's truly all about the shoreline, and average properties can come with about 40 to 60 feet of shoreline. But all shoreline is not created equal, so it really depends on if it's got those west-facing sunset views, if it's got a really nice sloped sandy entrance, or if it's going to be rocky and more weedy. Whatever the case may be, when you look at what you're getting for your money, it's still very, very impressive. Lake Minnetonka properties often feature private docks, boathouses, and panoramic water views, and typically for these luxury properties, they're also going to include outdoor living spaces to maximize that lakefront lifestyle. Now, while the architecture will vary pretty dramatically from classic estates to ultra-modern masterpieces, the common thread is definitely going to be quality. These are uniquely made, architecturally designed, and truly fantastic properties. In addition to the style of the property and the type of shoreline and lake frontage that you're getting, you do also need to remember that the specific location is going to dramatically affect your sale prices. For example, with that Lafayette Bay, those are going to be 30-40% higher than a similar home just on another side of the lake that's a little bit lesser known. What's also interesting is that while luxury markets across much of the country can be very volatile, Lake Minnetonka has shown remarkable stability. Properties here typically sell about 40% faster than comparable luxury areas around Minnesota, and they do tend to hold their value even during market corrections. Lake Minnetonka's unmatched combination of natural beauty, historic prestige, recreational opportunities, and luxury housing have secured its position as one of the Twin Cities' most desirable areas for generations. So if you're thinking about living on Lake Minnetonka, here are 3 quick tips that you need to keep in mind. First, consider some of the less well-known communities like Mound or Spring Park, where you can often find better values while still enjoying all the benefits of lake life. Second, late fall and winter, it can actually be some of the best times to buy around the Twin Cities, and that's certainly the case on Lake Minnetonka, as there's going to be less competition and sellers tend to be a little bit more motivated. Third, make sure to keep an eye on the drive times for any specific house that you're considering. Lake traffic definitely is a thing, and some homes are going to require winding around some country back roads to get through the different lakes and bays, and so that can add a lot of drive time. That is great for people looking for privacy and seclusion, but it can be kind of a pain if you're just trying to make a quick trip to the grocery store. So if you're thinking about making a move to Lake Minnetonka or anywhere else around the Twin Cities, my name's Joe Carmack, and I would love to help you with your next move. So just find my information in the description down below, and we've got more great content queued up for you right here.